Hello there, folks, and happy Sunday to you. It's lovely to see you all again as usual, and I hope you've had a good week, and I find you all very well indeed. And as you know, we were away down to Wales for a few days. We went down to Llandudno just for a few days. We love it down in Wales. It's just fab, but it is a bit of a drive. It's a couple of hours to here, which is just in the border of England, and then you're about another 3 hours from here to actually get to Wales. And obviously we stop off a couple of times for a coffee, so it takes around just over about 5 hours, 5 and a bit hours, so it is a long journey. So poor Mr. What's for Tea done the driving, so good for him. But like I said, we did stop a couple of times as well. So I'm going to start off on Monday as usual, all the way through till today, which is Sunday, and just show you what we had whilst we were down here. Now, we tend to stick to the same couple of places. There's an American diner type place called Harvey's, which we like, and there's also an Italian place called Wildwood, which we also like, which is just across the road from here. So we tend just to go through, go back and forth between the two. So Monday night it was Harvey's, and they've got a fab menu. It's a sort of New York American type diner experience type, one of those places, a bit like Frankie and Benny's. So you'll get burgers and pizza and sort of Tex-Mex grills, steaks, that kind of thing. But we just went, of course, for fish and chips, because whenever there's fish and chips, we tend to order fish and chips. But I will give you a quick look at the menu here, because I know there's loads of you that like to see the menu and prices just to compare where you are. So like I said, yeah, lots of sort of burgers and pizzas and steaks and that type of thing. We have tried lots of different things from this menu over the years that we've been coming here, but yeah, just fancied the fish and chips, because you know what you're going to get, and there's not many, there's not much of a surprise. You can't really go wrong with fish and chips if you do like the fish and chips. And it was lovely. The fish was so fresh and it just flaked and fell apart. So yeah, this is Harvey's, and it is a chain. There are a few of these around, but this is the only one we've been in, and yeah, it was just lovely. And then moving on to Tuesday morning, I'll just quickly show you my breakfast, because we had the same thing more or less every day, so I won't bore you with this every single day. But I had a fresh fruit pot, and I also had Greek yogurt, and I put some honey on the top, and there was also toast on the table as well. Mr. What's for Tea had the same, but he had cereal and milk along with his toast, and he prefers tea in the morning, and I've got to have my coffee in the morning. I just like black coffee. I don't add anything. I don't add any sugar or milk or anything like that. So yeah, a good strong black coffee in the morning is the way to go for me. And then Tuesday night, we managed to get a reservation at Wildwood. This place gets very busy, and it's quite difficult to get a reservation. You've got to be quite quick, and sometimes you have to be not too fussy about the time that you're in, because the slots book up so quickly. Mr. What's for Tea had a margarita pizza, and I had this beautiful penne arrabbiata, which is a sort of spicy tomato, garlic, onion, and there's chilli in there. It's just wonderful. And you have the option of adding chicken, which I did do. So I added chicken to mine, so I think it's an extra couple of pounds, if you want to add the protein, and it just helps to bulk it out a wee bit, and it gives you the protein as well. And this was delicious, and it was so delicious that I had this another day as well, or another night, and we had the garlic bread as well. And Mr. What's for Tea had the eating mess afterwards. I was completely stuffed, because obviously I had the bread with the pasta, so I couldn't manage anything else after that. It was quite a large portion as well. And then again, just a wee quick look at the menu for those that like to see what's on offer, and obviously the prices as well. Like I said, this is more of an Italian type place. So you've got your pizza, pasta, breads, grills. They do burgers as well, and lots of nice desserts. So yeah, I will just show you a quick look at this menu. It doesn't really change. I don't think it's really changed much in the 3 or 4 years we've been coming down here. And then that's his dessert there on the dessert menu. Lots of lovely choices, but yeah, I just could not manage anything else after that. And then moving on to Wednesday, it was back to Harvey's for a burger this night. And I wasn't fancying any meat, but Mr. What's for Tea had a chicken burgers. When I say burger, this is just a chicken breast, basically pounded down with the cheese on the top. And I went for a veggie burger. Like I said, I wasn't fancying any meat. And this is a double vegetable patty. I didn't realise there was two, and that was very, very filling, along with the chips and the salad on the side. And then moving into Thursday, it was back to Wildwood. We did manage to get a reservation. I almost forgot. So we're in here at 6:15, which is a wee bit earlier than we normally like to go, but it was all that was available. It was either that or 8:30, which is too late. So yeah, only 2 slots available. So Mr. What's for Tea had the mushroom pizza, and we shared the arancini, which is the cheese and the rice balls with that lovely marinara sauce. And like I said, I did go for the penne arrabbiata with the added chicken again, just because it was so delicious the first time, and it was exactly the same the second time as well. It's just got, such a beautiful flavour. And then they did give me a wee pot of chilli flakes because my pasta wasn't quite hot enough for me, and I do like a nice spicy pasta. They did have chilli oil, but I felt, that might make things a bit too heavy and greasy. So I just went with the chilli flakes, and that was absolutely perfect. They also offer freshly ground black pepper or Parmesan cheese for the top of your pastas, but again, it was perfect just the way it was. And yeah, a big, big favourite of mine. I like penne arrabbiata anyway. Then moving on to Friday, back to Wildwood again. And don't get me wrong, Llandudno do have lots and lots of different restaurants that you can go to, but we tend to, if we find somewhere we like, we are quite loyal to the places that we like. So this is why we've just gone between these two, and they're not too far away from where we were staying, and they're right across the road from each other. So back to Wildwood, and we both got the lasagna with a wee sharing salad in the middle, and that was absolutely delicious as well. And then I did have a wee bit of room left, so I've gone for this warm lemon tart and ice cream, and Mr. What's for Tea had the sticky toffee pudding with ice cream as well. Everything has just been absolutely delicious. I don't think I've had anything from here that I haven't liked in all the time that we've been coming yet. It's just all, when the service is brilliant as well, and they're good and quick. You're never waiting too long, but like I said, it does get very, very busy. It's very popular, and if you are going to try and reserve a table, I would maybe do it a couple of days before. Now, we took a wee stroll around the local chocolate shop, and all these wee chocolates are handmade, and it's a beautiful shop. It's packed floor to ceiling with all these wonderful creations and chocolate bars. So obviously I had to get a couple of things to bring back. So that was everything we had whilst we were there. And then it was home time, and then yeah, welcome back to Scotland. I always like to see that sign. So on Saturday we just had a very easy crusty baguette, just with a few crisps at the side. I think, yeah, but we've overdone it a wee bit in the previous few days, so something a wee bit simpler was what the doctor ordered. And you will have seen these wee baguettes in our Sainsbury's shopping and bagging. These are lovely, and you just pop them into the oven for about 10 minutes on a sort of medium heat, just to go nice and crispy on the outside, and they're lovely and warm and fluffy on the inside. So yeah, that's what we had. So just split that down the middle, and I've popped some tuna, mayonnaise, some shredded lettuce and tomato in there as well, a wee pot of coleslaw, and then just some barbecue lentil chips. I was going to make chips, but Mr. What's for Tea was not in the mood for chips. He's had enough chips, so we just had the lentil chips on the side. And then moving on to today, we just had chicken curry and noodles. So this is just my standard sort of Chinese takeaway style inspired chicken curry, which we have quite often just because it's so delicious. And I usually use the Mayflower curry powder to make up my sauce, and generally I'll add, peas and onions, and it's just so tasty. And we would usually have chips or rice with our curry, but I did have some noodles in the cupboard that I really did need to use up. They've been in there quite a wee while, and these were curry noodles, so they went really well with that curry. So yeah, it's just chicken breast, and I've kept the chicken quite chunky, nice big large pieces, along with that lovely curry sauce, and then the garden peas, and then the onions, and obviously mixed through those noodles. It was really, really tasty, and definitely one I would have again. So that was everything that we had last week and the last couple of days, and this is the big wheel or the Ferris wheel on Llandudno Pier. You know, it's just beautiful. It's stunning. It's a traditional seaside town, and it's just, yeah, it's just so traditional. It's like you've gone back about 50 years, which we love. So yeah, we had a wee go on the big wheel. It's about £5 per person, so not bad. And it did go round 5 or 6 times. And I have sped this footage up just to let you see the view. And you can see just in the distance there, it looks like a row of white houses which stretch all the way to the end. And we were more or less staying right at the end, more or less. So it is a wee bit of a walk to get here, but not as far as you would think. It's about a 15-minute walk, but it's a lovely walk right along the promenade there. And they've got lots of amusements and stalls and games and different arcades and food stalls and things. So yeah, just a traditional British pier. And we love all that, so it's just perfect for us. So thank you so much for watching if you're still here, and a huge thank you as usual to the supporters of the channel over on my Patreon page, and to the channel members here on YouTube, for you all for watching, leaving your lovely comments, for those that share the videos as well, and those that have bought me a coffee using the Buy Me a Coffee link, and anybody who has left me a super thanks donation on the channel as well. It's all very much appreciated. Now, I'm very lucky to have you. It actually blows my mind that you do all the wonderful things that you do, and you still come back week after week watching my wee videos, because I love to make them. So I'm just so chuffed that so many of you like to watch them as well. And I'll catch up with you during the week back here on What's for Tea. So take care and bye for now. Bye now.